It's time to put the women and children to bed and go looking for dinner. Ham Radio Adventure Time. What is up, Ham Radio? Kilo Echo 8, Papa Zulu November, the Ham Radio Adventure Guy. Thanks for stopping by, your one stop for everything Adventure Radio. It is Hump Day, time for the Hump Day Happy Hour. And I'm hoping we're going to have a wonderful stream tonight. And this wonderful stream is brought to you by these guys right here, Patreons, because they are absolutely awesome people. And you know what? We spend a lot of time together. If we're I'd like to know how many hours I actually spend in the video room called Chill Pad that the Patreons hang out in. It's probably way too many, and I probably need help for it. But I'm gonna challenge the Patreons.
I'm your huckleberry.
This list is big, and if you see somebody on the list that you've never seen in Chill Pad or the After Chat, I challenge you to get them to come in and join us because they're missing out, and they're part of us. So let's get them in there. All right. Also brought to you by the YouTube members, equally as important, and they are just as awesome. So thanks each and every one of you. All right. I got 2 adventure boards today. One more time, I'm going to give a shout out to this is the last of that. That is the first quarterfinals. You guys really rocked it in the first quarter. And a matter of fact, we're going to talk a little bit about something that happened for the first quarter right here in a few minutes. So we'll bring this board back in a couple minutes. But to start the second quarter off, look right where you left off. Kilo 4, Lima, India leading the pack.
I swear.
Thanks to Michael, Kilo, Josh, and Bruce, all 3 for the off-stream donations. And I look forward to an interesting quarter with you guys once again. So what is going on, Hayden? How's your boat?
Oh, not too much. It's just sitting there.
I've been sitting here since last Sunday waiting for an update for the swim platform.
Swim platform is going real good. I just got some more epoxy in. We're going to seal all the voids up in it. Will be rock solid. I'm excited. I want to put a diving board in off the back of it.
Good deal. How are you, Dan?
I'm doing great. Hello, everyone in the chat. Let's see. We got Doug, Andy Cowley, always in here like a staple. I don't see how he's on first every time. Hayden, good to see you again, brother. Rod, who else is in here? Bruce, Kent, Hiking and Hammond, Sandy, Liz, R. Effing around. Hey, Toby, everybody. Michael, good to see everybody tonight.
There you go. You said a name that one of the Patreons can win on this challenge right off the bat. Sandy has been trying to get in the after chat room with us for a while. Somebody help her get into the after chat room, and so she can get in there and hang out with us tonight, preferably.
Couple more slid in here. Brent, good to see you. Cup How, good to see you, buddy. Cody, Mike, PP Man's in the house.
And speaking of Brent, thank you very much for the information you sent me earlier. That's definitely something handy for me to have. I won't go on a limb and say what it is. They'll find out soon enough.
There's the loudmouth from Hammertown. Larry, good to see you always.
Anyway, so back to this board right here, the top donators of the first quarter. So these 10 people were just in a drawing a little less than an hour ago. In case y'all didn't notice, myself and Hayden was live on Twitter just a little bit ago, and we did a little drawing for the Adventure Club. And congratulations to Josh, Kilo for Lima, India. He won a T-shirt. He needs to give me a size and color and all that jazz. And his second antenna in a row. India, Charlie, Papa, Bruce, you got another antenna coming to you, buddy. So nice. Congratulations to you. He's going to have every antenna on demand for us over if he keeps this up. Also, we did another drawing. So this year, just like last year, I've been doing the PZN challenge, and that's to hunt me every day. Why do the Bailey Sprott when you can do the PZN challenge and do two things at once?
Right.
Not only are you doing the PZN challenge, but you're doing the Bailey and Sprott. And so last year we had 5 people finish, which was absolutely great. But everybody complained about how hard it was, including this guy sitting beside me here, who made sure and dropped out on the first day this year so he wouldn't have to do it again.
You're right.
He couldn't put his big girl panties on 2 years straight. So I tried to entice him a little bit, and I said, you know what? I'm going to give away something every quarter. So whoever's in it after the first quarter will be eligible for a drawing. That'll be the smallest prize. And then the second quarter will get a little bit bigger. And then the third quarter and so on. But we did the PZN adventure drawing for these 11 gentlemen right here. And congratulations to November 4 Charlie Whiskey Bravo. Craig, you won a adventure pack, which is not only a T-shirt, but a zip-up hoodie. So you need to get up with me, sizes and colors and all that good jazz as well. And if you're not in here tonight, shame on you, but I'll still message you and let you know you won.
I'm going to get in on the fourth quarter just so I can get the bigger prize, you see.
Well, you can hunt me every day. I'll tell you congratulations,
That's not how it works.
I will say, unfortunately, the second quarter will not be as big as the first, because already the first week of the second quarter, I've got a dropout. I'm down to 10 now. I got all the names on 2 hands now.
That's still very respectable. If you're still in that challenge, you're doing a really good job. Really good job. So.
It's rough. It's a rough challenge because you're on the mercy of my time. When is James going to activate? Because James is unpredictable. When things are going great for James, you don't have to worry because he's activating like 7 times in a day. But when you're dealing with stuff like the last 2 days of thunderstorms and lightning and all this crazy crap, and all of a sudden it's back to 30 degrees, and it's get it when you can. Poor old Josh. He said he found out I was activating yesterday, and he was up on a ladder doing a install. He said he come off that ladder like a squirrel.
And I know the feeling. I know the feeling.
So yeah,
it's rough though. Yeah, but if you're still in it, man, kudos. You're doing a great job. And all the people that were in it up until now, still kudos. You did a damn good job. So
so there's some people there's some people that had potential to make it all the way, that just one thing or another just fell out. Hey, thank you very much for the super chat, Scott. Appreciate it very much. Help me pay for some of the stuff that I gave away tonight. I got to order all of it now tonight. But thank you very much. Appreciate it. James promises to hunt me every day I'm in Canada this year. Yeah,
it's a good start.
Yeah.
If I can hear you, I hear you use ham sticks and they don't get out real good. That's what somebody told me.
Having flashbacks to Delaware or what?
Did you say dummy load?
I'm looking forward to Canada. Hopefully the solar cycle is a lot better than it's been in the month of March. I know it's April now, but the month of March may be the worst time I've had on the radio ever. I mean, every other day we're getting flare, and it's always exactly when I go out to activate a flare hits.
Of course, yeah.
I mean, I know there were several times in March. I'd say there was probably 10 times in March when I went out and maybe drove even an hour plus to the first park, got to the first park and got done with it and said, I think I'm done with this, and went back to the house. So,
well, we got the eclipse coming up Monday. Maybe it'll reset some stuff.
Yeah, I hope
I
it
don't
does
know
something.
if that's how it works, but
I mean,
hoping too.
I heard it's going to end the world. So I mean,
yeah, and there's supposed to be some kind of alien spaceship behind the moon or something like that.
Well, I don't know. It may
you know what I saw today?
I think they landed early. Wasn't there like 10-foot aliens in Florida or something?
Right. Yeah.
Somebody took a picture of the sun and zoomed in real far, and they saw a cube, and they said, "Is resistance futile?" Crazy.
Well, there you go. So our effing around said he promises to feed you every day while you're in Canada. So he should get like the food sprott challenge.
The food sprott challenge. Stephen, thank you for the super chat and 9 more months of anxiety. That's right. Hey, thank you very much, Michael, for the super chat. Yeah. So today, I said I wasn't going to help people this year, but today, the way the weather had been here, I didn't know if I was going to get more than one park today. So I did send out a few messages after about 5 minutes and warned people, hey, I'm on the air. Come get me. I ended up doing 2 parks, but it's just the lightning storms. I didn't know what I was going to get. Yesterday I only got 2 parks, and they were like, even though they're a couple miles apart, they were like 4 hours apart because I had to wait for storms and stuff like that. So it was really, really horrible. But so far, got doing good. Both of those guys who just super chatted are still in the PZN challenge. But yeah, Steven got a text today. Say, hey, where you at? And he stopped and had to switch antennas on the side of the road.
Been there too. I mean, I feel everybody's pain. Trust me. Yeah.
Oh, come on, guys, it ain't that bad. I have literally stopped on the side of the road because another activator was struggling activating one time, and I stopped on the side of the road in between parks and ran the Eagle One up on the side of the road and hunted him, and gave him my call and the club call to get him activated, and kept going.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do. Let's say, hypothetically, you're driving up the interstate in Connecticut and James spots, and it's when you hear him, then you don't hear him, then you hear him, then you don't hear him, just the way the radio waves are hitting you on the interstate, and you happen to find a spot to pull over right there on the interstate just so you can work them. No, I'm not saying that happened, but hypothetically, if it did,
you're probably also not saying that you've worked me CW while driving like 85 miles an hour before either.
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm a professional knee driver.
Professional knee driver.
That's right.
Hey, thank you very much for the super chat. Happy.
Yeah.
So, do you think all of these solar flares have anything to do with the eclipse coming up or anything, or is it just random? What do you think?
Or, yeah, just random. So, the sun doesn't care where the moon is.
Nope.
Well, I will tell you one thing about random weather, like we've had the last couple of days. You know, if you ain't heard from some of your ham buddies, reach out to them and make sure they're okay. Because I'll tell you, these storms are definitely not no joke. I know we had some tornadoes here in West Virginia, and you know, there's a lot of people still without power. So if you ain't heard your buddies, try to get a hold of them, reach out to them, see if they need anything. It's an absolutely bad thing when you're doing without because of a storm or something like that.
Well, I'm not sure when this is supposed to happen, but I do know that shortly after the eclipse, April, May sometime, activations are going to get real interesting. Do you know that
But
we have 2 broods of locusts coming out this year?
Oh, we can do like instead of meteor scatter, we can do locust scatter.
Yeah.
I like
I
this.
wonder how the electromagnetics of the radio waves affect locusts.
Yeah.
Does it bring them in, or does it?
if it's anything like mosquitoes in Florida, it definitely brings it.
Jeez.
That was still one of the weirdest occurrences I think
It was.
ever.
It was.
Like,
It was totally calm. No
no
mosquito
bugs,
anywhere.
no bugs button whatsoever, nothing.
Then the sun
Sun
goes
gets
down,
on
and
the air.
5 minutes later, we're literally thousands of mosquitoes just swarm us.
Thousands of, I mean,
Oh,
I looked over at Craig and I know he had 45 or 50 mosquitoes on his hat.
Yeah. And then they went away just as fast. I mean, they were there, what, maybe 5 or 10 minutes? And then all of a sudden, gone. It's like, okay.
You ever
yeah,
know,
cicadas.
you know, you guys were worried about the noise from locusts. Have you ever noticed that things that start with L are just unwanted noise? Locusts, vids, you know.
Well, we've been corrected. I'm sorry that Brent, but it is cicadas. Both the broods are coming out this year.
I'm going to have nightmares about that now. Covered
Oh,
in cicadas.
I remember when it came out a couple years ago. It wasn't too bad, but it's going to be like twice as bad.
Well, I got news. You know, if they coming out in April, they need to stay away from the HRAG meetup in Murphy because we plan on having a good time down there. We'll have the King's soldier sitting there with electrical swords, killing them. It's going to be a good time. I look forward to that. I know of 4 new Patreons, not new Patreons as in new patrons, but 4 new to me to activate with Patreons that I'm going to get down there. So, you know, I made it one of my goals to get 10 Patreons that I had never activated with this year. So, I've got 3 so far, and you'll see that in my video tomorrow on my monthly update. I got 3 so far. 3 months down, 3 months, three Patreons down. So.
Well, we're not supposed to math on live stream, but I think if you keep that up, you'll get 10 by 12.
I'll get 10 by 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you'll make it by the
Find
end of the year. Yeah.
But you know, it's funny because you know the easy ones though, I've already activated with all you guys. So it makes it a little rougher. I figure, okay, so I'm going to pick up 4 new ones in April.
Oh, never activated before, period. Not just this year.
No, I've never activated with them at all.
I got you now. Okay.
Right.
That makes it a little more difficult. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, you don't count because I activated with you this year. I had already activated with you, so I'm getting 10 that I have never activated with at all.
Yeah.
So, a lot of the ones on that list I already don't count. So, I'm getting 4 more, like I said, at the end of April, at that, maybe more, but at least 4. And I figure I'll pick up a couple in Dayton as well.
Just get about seven or so people to sign up for Patreon in Dayton. Activate with them. Knock them all out.
There you go.
Yeah. Roger's in the house. Good to see you, Curtis.
Always good to see Curtis.
Oh yeah.
So, what about in the South, Dan? What's the conditions been like
Crappy.
in the last month? You guys
Crappy.
experiencing the exact same stuff we're doing? Huh? Okay.
Rain. It was really, really windy here this morning. We had a squall line come through. Probably got about a half an inch to 3/4 of an inch of rain just today. But weather's been funny, dude. It's sometimes it's cold in the morning and up to 70s, 75 in the afternoon. Sometimes it's warm in the morning, up to 80, 85 in the afternoon. It's been really, we had a really mild winter too. It really didn't get cold. I think everywhere had a fairly mild winter this year.
Yeah, we did here.
Normally we get, 2 or 3 weeks of good, hard cold frequencies, temperatures to freeze the mosquito larvae and all that crap, but none this year. I think the mosquitoes are out all winter. Didn't seem to bother them one bit.
Well, I know they were out in Florida in February. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Chris has a good comment here. The weather will clear up down there by Saturday.
Yeah, I was looking at that.
For the Georgia Parks in the Air thing.
Supposed to be beautiful Saturday and Sundays.
Don't you guys forget that. This weekend, Georgia Parks in the Air are going to have. There should be every Georgia state park being activated this weekend.
Yeah, we sure hope so.
If you need a Georgia state park, this would be the weekend to get it for sure.
Yeah. gaparks.org. If you want to check the website, see who is scheduled for what park you might need. Yeah, thank you, Hayden. I was just about to do that. gaparks.org. So has a schedule on there. If you need a certain park, it'll show you what activators scheduled to work that park, and if they put in notes, maybe when they'll be there as well. But that'll help you out with your ham alerts and things like that.
I guess I need to actually look and see what Georgia state parks I need, if I need any state parks.
Now, if you're hunting those parks, you can still sign up and get a certificate and everything too, right?
Chris,
I thought he said that the
Chris answered that because he's on the big wigs. I don't want to speak wrong with that, but I want to say if you hunt in it and then submit a log, you will get something.
Okay, that's what I seem to remember.
Getting everybody closer to their something on POTA though. Get your worked all Georgia. That'd be really nice to get people. Get the state parks out of the way at least.
I'm sure that award has already been out before, right? For Worked All Georgia.
I don't know if anybody's worked all Georgia. I know a couple of people have activated all Georgia.
Yeah, I know the activated one is not out yet.
I assume somebody's worked Georgia, but I'm not sure if any. I don't know. Not me. I know that. It's hard because, as I said in one of my recent videos I put out, if you go to somebody's state or even your own state, hit 40 meters first because it helps the locals out because there's still a crap ton of parks. There was somebody just the other day in a park not far from me, like radio-wise, not far from me in Georgia that I needed, and he spotted, went straight to 20 meters and straight to 17 meters and went QRT. I'm like, oh.
Looky there. Somebody spoke up. Somebody's hunted it all.
Nice.
Somebody's hunted all Georgia.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Also, congratulations on hunted all of Florida.
Yes.
It's in the books for Toby now. Congratulations on that. That's a big one. Oh.
That is. They got a ton of parks in Florida. That is awesome.
Yes, they do. Ton of parks and a ton of no see-ums when James is down there getting parks for her. Oh man, I got ate up that one day.
That's a good point, Brent. Thank you. I almost forgot about that. Third weekend, support your parks.
Yep.
Spring. No.
Yeah,
spring.
I will actually be activating in Missouri.
Missouri.
Yeah.
Where everybody gets a 3-3.
Everybody that week I should be in Missouri on Wednesday. So from Wednesday to probably Sunday, do not be offended if you don't know what's going on, because I will give you a 3-3 from Missouri, and that is in honor of a great hunter. And I really miss hearing 3-3 Missouri very bad. So everybody make sure and hunt me and get your 3-3 Missouri. I will actually be at the Overland show, but I will of course I'll be activating every day, of course. One of those days I'll probably be activating with Kyle even. So
you gonna do any videos while you're at the Overland show?
absolutely.
Sweet.
You should do a 2-op CW activation with Kyle.
A 2-op CW activation, Kyle.
Yeah.
Him on one end of the park and me on the other, working each other on all the bands, maybe. Because that's about the only way a 2-op CW activation. Listen, it is hard enough to do a dual op and get hunters to literally stick around and take the second op.
This is what you do.
Because nobody. Go ahead. Tell me what to do, Dan.
You spot with your call sign. You call CQ a couple of times, then you hand the key to Kyle and go, all right, handle this. Watch his brain. Watch his brain explode
on 20 meters. On 20 meters.
Yes, and watch his brain explode. It's like I can't copy FT8.
You know what? That's what I need to do. I was like, oh, you doing CW, Kyle? I'll spot you. And I'll spot my call.
He's gonna watch this stream later and kill us.
I haven't seen this happen yet.
I haven't seen a multi-op FT8 activation either, but I would love to know how they do a multi-op activation on FT8.
No, that's easy. It's called copy and paste.
Yeah, because there's no possible way for them to both make the contact unless they literally did two back to back.
Maybe they passed the keyboard between them.
Two computers, one radio.
No. See, they pass the keyboard. So somebody does TX1, then they pass the mouse.
Here, do TX2, Dan.
You do TX2, and then I'll do TX3, and they pass it back and forth, and that's your multi-op, right?
USB splitter, isn't it?
Yep. I was just going to say, when you do your CW activation with Kyle, you get one of those headphone Ys. And you can both have your own key.
So coming soon in the H-Rag Adventure Gear, we're selling the K8 truck logs for FT8. and we'll also sell the USB splitter for dual op FT8.
The K8 truck logs need to have that, that carbon paper you can put between sheets. So when you write, it makes like 8 copies. We are horrible people. Oh my gosh.
We're back to offending a lot of good people that do FT8.
I know. Yeah, but
I don't mean to offend the good people, only the bad.
Reminds me of those. What were they in school? The old mimeograph machines with the blue ink in the closet that the teachers always went in there and got high on. Yeah.
Ditto machines.
Yeah.
Oh, now the thing is with a dual op CW activation, it's just like with sideband. How many times have you done dual op with sideband? And you say, all right, hold for the second operator. And when the second operator gets it, they give them the signal report and that person's long gone because they don't pay attention.
Yeah.
Can you imagine it on CW? Because half of the people that hunt POTA CW barely know CW. I mean, I'm just telling you, they barely know CW because you go anything off the script with them, and they'll lose. They don't know what you're doing. It's like I'm trying to go off my own script with people, and it's funny because I'm going off script. The people just start sending their call sign again. Like it's absolutely crazy. And if you try to work 2 or 3 people in a row, they won't answer. So it gets annoying.
Oh, PSK 31, yeah.
That is my favoriteest digital mode.
Hey, I wonder if you can do a multi-op SSTV activation if you send a picture of both ops. I'm, just curious.
Well,
Two call signs, 2 pictures.
I'll tell you how you could do a 2 operator.
That would actually be really easy.
SSTV is you send different pictures with signal reports.
No, do it all in one picture. Like send a group photo with everybody's call sign.
2 faces, 2 call signs, 1 picture.
Yeah, like a group photo with everybody's call sign on it. I think it'll work.
As long as the picture came through clear enough so everybody can see both call signs.
Yeah, that gets a problem with SSTV sometimes too. I'm gonna, this summer, some of the guys have asked me to go back and do some more of it at the end of my activations because we had a lot of fun. It means I'm gonna stay out really, really late at night, wasting like an hour extra to get like 10 contacts, but it's definitely a lot of fun.
That was fun when we were doing it on the after chat.
Yeah, David said he'll hit you up off script on CW. He did it to me once, about blew my mind.
Yeah, he'll hit me up with some kind of crazy key, sending something absolutely crazy, and I'm like, huh? Well, yeah. That's the thing. I can't hardly go off script, but the worst thing ever. Here's the worst thing ever. So Steven, who's getting really good with CW, either he can't decode off script, or I can't send off script. Because I'll send something to him, and then later on he'll be like, "Did you say?" And it's something like way crazy. Like one day I sent "Keep Your Pants On," and he said, "Did you send something about Viagra?" And I was like, "What?" I'm like, "Where did you get that from?"
The funniest part about that is he would think you would actually say something like that to begin with, so it is plausible.
There you go. If anybody wants an instant activation on Tuesday,
there's the speed demon.
He's laughing because he knows he said it. So either I sent something way like, all right, keep your pants on. Tell me what part of that would sound anything like Viagra in CW, Dan?
Yeah, you're right. I think I got him. Go ahead.
Either I sent something really, really stupid, or he decoded really, really stupid.
I think I got him good the other day too.
All kinds of signals.
I started on a high pitch when I sent my call sign, and then he replied to me. So my whole reply, I kept turning down my transmit offset while it was sending on my keyer. So the pitch, kept going down and down and down.
Yeah.
Then it took a while for him. Then it took a while for him
before.
Then it took a while for him to answer me back. So I figured he was probably sitting there laughing or looking at the radio like it was stupid. One of the two.
You were just compensating for Doppler shift.
Absolutely.
You did it to me one time, except you were going up and down, up and down.
Yeah. Everybody else was probably sitting there hitting the radio going, "What's wrong with my VFO?" He said he was cracking up.
Brent, I hope you get your back better real soon, because I'm wanting to go out and do me and Brent talking about doing activation with another Patreon in Kentucky. So
once you get your you can get your Armada running and then run him over, help straighten his back out. A little bit of weight on it.
I could get it running. I could tow it to the top of a hill, and it would run all the way down the hill.
Is it a manual?
Mm-mm.
Is it a manual or automatic?
It's not automatic, but you put it neutral, it's still going to go downhill.
No, I was thinking you could, roll start it and pop the clutch.
Is the gas tank still full?
Ain't got no gas in it.
If the gas tank was still full, that would be like $400 or something in there. I'd be angry.
Well, I thought the fuel pump went up in it.
So that was the first problem that we thought.
Oh, okay.
Did the fuel pump go out right after you filled it up with gas? I mean, that's always the case.
They usually do that,
right?
First off, it was an Armada. It never got filled up with gas.
That's true.
Come on. I don't make that kind of money on YouTube. Fill up an Armada with gas.
But hold the handle down for 5 seconds. That ought to get me there.
That's like pulling a fuel truck up there and just taking it and putting it in the tank and hitting the thing. I'm going to the bathroom. I'll be back in 6 days.
Must be like my wife's Suburban.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal on gas for sure.
It's even worse when you get to a pump that pump's so slow and it's like
So Dan, did you do anything interesting in the first quarter?
Not well, yeah. So get out of my comfort zone and did I'm doing a lot of CW activations now. That was a goal of mine for this year. And I started in the first quarter, so yeah. And I'm doing good. I'm getting average as long as I stay out there and my brain doesn't implode. Probably 25 to 35 before my brain shuts off. Then I got to do something else that I can go back. The most I ever got was 60 in one activation. I'm doing good, I think.
What radio are you doing your CW activations with?
KX2.
You are doing it. Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if you were using the 891, you're better decoder than me, because it's a lot harder for me to code on the 891 than one of my radios that has really good filters.
I haven't tried it on the 891. I mean, I've done a CW activation before on the 891, but not since I got.
Well,
not this year. I haven't.
My every activation I've did this week's been on the 891 because it's the weather. It's just easy to throw in my backpack and just go do an activation. So, and the first couple I did where I spotted on CW, and they were horrible because you just don't have the filtering on the 891 as you do on the bigger radios or the smaller radios for that matter. But so I just started doing Discord only ones. But it's still and there's going to be somebody that's been doing CW for like 40 years, like, oh, it's a piece of cake, and it probably is.
Yeah, I don't know, but the KX2, I haven't had to mess with the filter any. During the contest, was it last weekend? I did have to narrow my bandwidth down a little bit, so I wasn't listening to 500K. I did narrow it down just a tad because there was somebody beside me on either side. But that's really the only thing I've had to do. Normally, I just set the KX2 up on CW. I leave it at a 500 filter and go.
Well, that's typically what I do too. But those radios, they seem to naturally filter out more crap than the other radios. So.
No, I've been having fun doing that and get better every time I go out. I can't activate as much as I'd like, so it's a weekend warrior kind of thing. So I think from the time that I'm putting in it on the air versus what I'm getting out of it, I think I'm making really good progress. But I am practicing every day, by ear. So
absolutely, and I try to practice. People don't believe this, but they think I just get up and go out and activate. They're like, "Why you sleep so late?" And they don't realize that I do get up and I do CW practice every morning before I leave the house. I'll get in here and I'll either go to one of the Long Island CW classes that's recorded and listen back to it, or I'll go listen to something in CW. I do this every day. I try to do it every day. There is days that I don't, but and then I go out and activate. So
I got. I'll drop the link in the chat. What I do on my ride to work every morning, and on the way home, I listen to CW. Let me find it here. Jeez.
later, Terry. I'm not sure why you're leaving. I missed that.
Yeah,
But
see,
we'll see.
Terry. Anyway, I'll find the link here in just a minute, and I'll post it. But it's an audio on YouTube that you can play, and it plays the letter for you. Then it will tell you what the letter is a couple seconds later. And what my goal is to hear the letter and either think of that letter or say it out loud before the voice on the video says it. So it's helping me with my instant recognition. And I play that on the way to work and on the way home just as I'm driving. That's been helping me out a lot. But I'll find it here in just a minute.
If you show up late to the stream and leave before it's over, Terry's your uncle.
That's right.
73, buddy.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
I hope he was still on before he left.
Yeah, I mean, people ask me all the time, how do you get better with the CW? Practice every day. Just practice every day. It's
Yeah. All right, I dropped it in the chat. I want to say I can't remember what website's probably in the description. That's morsecode.ninja. And I dropped the link in the chat to the 20 words per minute, but I'm doing the 22 words per minute for copying letters. And if you go to the website morsecode.ninja, there is a lot of other things that he has, especially photo related. He has a lot of Morse code videos to help you copy. I think he took like the top 100 hunters, top 100 activators, and he made a separate video for them too, so you can hear their call signs in real time as well. It's a really, really good website. Morsecode.ninja.
Also, W1AW has a broadcast schedule where they just put out Morse code messages in the different rates, and they post what they're putting so that you can copy it.
Yep.
And then go and compare it later.
There's
something I've looked into. I listen to it on the shortwave every once in a while.
There's tons of ways to practice Morse code. A lot of people say they don't have time for it, but I mean, like I said, I do it on my way to work and my way home. So if you have a commute, even if it's 15 minutes, you got 15 minutes in the car, right? So instead of listening to your morning news on a radio or whatever radio station on Sirius XM you like to listen to, play Morse code and learn it that way. Or if you want to practice sending, what I did a while back, because I can send a lot better than I can receive. So I really don't practice too much of my sending right now. I want to get my receiving better. And what I used to do when I was practicing sending is, again, while you're driving around town, if you got to go to the grocery store or whatever, and you pull up behind somebody at a red light, just read their license plate and then tap out the letters on your steering wheel. Your letters and numbers right there on your license plate. Everywhere you look, there's letters and numbers you can tap out. So. Cool. There's always a way to learn. You just got to.
It's like playing the alphabet game.
Yeah, you can always learn.
I never really thought about tapping it out, but I have sort of just took my finger and sort of just tapped on my on my knee or something like that.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it doesn't take much. I mean, a good 10-minute focused learning session is better than an hour-long semi-focused learning session.
Oh, absolutely. And you know what? If you get to the point where you get frustrated, stop.
Yeah. And
then just resume later. Because you get frustrated and you're just going to continue to mess up. And here's the thing: when you're listening and you miss a letter, don't focus on that letter no more. Let it go and just keep copying. You'll figure, just if you're writing it down, draw you a little space there and keep going. You'll figure it out.
Yeah, you got a wheel of fortune.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing for me too. I think Kyle said something along the lines of, you need to learn to forget quickly. So if you miss something, just don't worry about it. And I get hung up on that. still. So
PP, man. Last time I did that, I passed my exit up by 60.
yeah, right. The see, it's weird for me too. I find that I copy better if I'm not paying 100% attention to it. Now, I know that sounds kind of weird, but if I can split my brain off to think about two things at the same time, one like driving and listening to Morse code, obviously I'm still paying attention to driving, but I find that I can process the Morse code better. That's, I guess, in some of my videos, if you watch me doing Morse code, it's almost like I'm staring off in the woods while I'm listening to code. I'm actually watching birds and squirrels. I'm trying to separate my mind from what I'm hearing. And if I find that I can copy it better if I'm not solely focusing on one thing. It's my brain is weird.
I try to keep the
Tapping
video.
into the subconscious.
I try to keep the video on my hands because typically when I keep it on me, if I don't watch, you'll catch me. It's like it's a beatbox to me, and I'm sitting there just bobbing my head to it,
Yeah, but I find if I hyper focus on Morse code, I can't copy it. It's like I'm paying too much attention to it.
Well, and it's the good thing about POTA is with CW, you get a lot of people that will hunt you over and over and over and over. And there are a lot of those call signs that are starting to become to me just like they are on a sideband where I can just hear their tone. I typically, like, I don't count dits and dahs. I hear the letters anyway, but there's a lot of full call signs that I don't even hear the letters no more. I just hear it like it's a word. I hear like Kilo 8 Golf Quebec, Whiskey Delta 4 Delta Alpha November. I hear the word. I don't hear the letters no more. So
I got a really good hunter the other day. He was really low pitched, so he was downshifted to me. So he was below my tone, and I was having trouble copying him because his pitch was so low. And I question marked him a few times, and the next time he sent, he shifted the other direction and sent high, and I got him right off. That's a really good hunter. So if you're a hunter and the activator question marks you 2 or 3 times, change your tone because he might have just trouble hearing you in his ear.
Absolutely. There's people that probably think that I hate them, but it's those people that go really, really low. I cannot work you when you're down there because it just sounds like a choo-choo train to me.
Is there a Q code to change your tone?
I don't think so.
We need to make one up.
I mean, the other thing that I could have done was took my receive and shifted it down. But yeah,
I've literally put too low before on their CW, but it's a good idea. I could just shift down to them, but it's my activation. They need to come to me.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about doing that. I was fumbling through the menus of the KX2 to find their RIT because I didn't want to change my actual frequency that I was sending on. I was going to RIT down so I could listen to them in a different tone.
And I'll tell you another thing. If you throw your call out 15 times every time I go dit, I promise you I will not work you.
Yeah.
Especially if every single time I go like Victor Echo 3 station and you throw your call out 5 more times. And then I go Victor Echo 3 ? And you throw out your call 5 more times. Guess what? You're not. I don't care. You're not going into log. Even if I do decide to work you to get you out of the way, which normally I don't even give you that satisfaction, you're not going in that log because you're just being a lead.
Yep. Eric says QRI is for tone. That's good. I mean, if somebody sent me QRI, before tonight, I'd had no idea what it.
I would have never known. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate that too.
And aloha.
The problem is none of the other people that's hunting me is going to know it either, but I do appreciate it.
All right.
I might start doing that to people just to see if anybody will change their tone.
Hayden does Soggy Bottom Boys for karaoke.
That's just like when I first started CW. I found out real fast that the POTA hunters do not understand what QRS means.
Yeah.
Because they would not slow down.
I have a habit All right, so I'll tell you about how I hunt. So if you're sending at 25 words a minute as an activator, I figured you can copy 25 words a minute, so I really don't care that fast. But if you are sending 20 words a minute, I'm going to set my keyer to 19 when I call you. If you're sending at 15, I'm going to set my keyer to 14. I'm always going to go one less than what you're spotted as or what ribbon says you're sending, because there's a lot of people, me included, who might be sending 20, 21 words a minute, 22 words a minute on their activation because we want to get faster, we want to learn, but we don't necessarily want somebody to call us that fast. So if you hear me out there sending 22, 23 words a minute, like, call me at 20. I'm trying to build my speed up. That's why I'm sending faster, because I do want people to hit me faster to help me learn, but I might not want it faster than that. And a lot of people I found, just an activator today was sending about 20. And I heard somebody call them, must have been going, I don't know, 24, 25, like well over what, the activator was calling it. And I'm like, well, that's kind of a dick move, if you ask me, unless you know the activator and it's somebody you're messing with, but
I often wonder if some of the people know that I can send a lot faster than I do on Photo.
I mean,
Because a
it's
lot
not,
of people, a lot of people will come in a
yeah.
lot faster on me, and typically I'll just work them back anyway. But if they come in like super fast, I just ignore them.
I kind of wish I had your problem. Me and you are exactly opposite, because I can hand key 30 words a minute. I mean, I
Oh,
can
I
do a
can
POTA exchange, no problem. I
no,
can't copy that fast.
I can send a lot faster. Like
Yeah.
the other day, I accidentally did an activation at 24 words a minute and messed up 0 times.
Yeah.
And then I realized after working with his kids, I was like, oh crap, I'm going way too fast. And I sent Liz a message and because what it was is I was practicing that morning before I left, and I was practicing at 24 words a minute, and I accidentally left it there.
Yeah, well, me and him did that.
Yeah, I know what Dan did to you, Stephen.
Oh, that was so funny. But no, I find that that once, all right, so I got my keyer set on 20. When I first get to the park and I send QRL, it's like, holy crap, that's fast. That's like the first time I listened to Morse code that day. It's like that's fast. But 15 minutes into the activation, after I've got through a couple calls at that speed, I get used to it. So now it's not that fast anymore. I get used to it.
What I've found is between 17 to 20 is the sweet spot for POTA.
Yeah.
That's about where most POTA people are at.
Yep.
So I typically do my activations at 22. But that way I can the people can still understand when I'm calling back and stuff like that. But now there are people that have come through 25, 26, 27 words a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, normally I get excited that I get excited when they come through. But then there's if they're sending that fast and they're not proficient at sending that fast, it becomes a problem, and I give up on it.
Turns into QRM.
That's exactly what. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it does. Especially when they send it over and over and over and over again. But no, I'm having a fun time at CW. I'm starting to love it. So.
It's definitely a whole lot of fun. I've played with it quite a bit, and it's funny because this year's not a year that I'm worried about numbers, and I feel like my numbers are just absolutely garbage this year, even when I do my daily updates. But then I got to thinking, it's like, you know what? My CW numbers are still right there where they were last year at the end of the third quarter.
And you're having fun.
And I'm having more fun.
Yeah.
I'm going to a park and I'm staying at the park a whole lot longer. I'm trying different things. I'm trying different antennas. And I'm having a lot more fun this year. You know, if I got to go to war next year and fight for the kingdom with somebody, so be it. But I'm having fun this year, and honestly, I don't really got to worry about numbers because when I go to Canada, you know, they're going to go through the roof with part numbers.
That's right. Yep.
Uh,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I did get a 1 word per hour with our RFing round. I do remember that. We do have a couple of CW contacts between us, but we did get it done.
yeah, well, if you've ever done it to me, James, I apologize because I'm just sitting there cussing like, who the is this moron? If you send, I'm sorry, I'm not a good enough activator. If you send to me below like 12 words a minute, and 12 is going to be painful. If you send below 12, there is no way I'm going to understand it. I don't even know if I'll understand down to 12. I think I started at 15 when I first learned ZW.
Is that because you're going off the rhythm of things?
Yes, I can't count dits and dahs. I have to hear letters, and I can't hear letters if I was talking. You know that's like talking to somebody like that.
Yeah, I started. Forget where I started learning like copying. I think it was 18 where I started it, and now I bumped it up to 22 just so I can get the. I'm working on the instant recognition of characters now. I mean, I know all the characters, I know all the numbers. If you give me long enough to think of one, I'm going to figure it out. But I want to get it instantly. That way, I don't have to start question marking people. I can stop question marking people.
Here's the thing. I do this thing where if you call me and I say whiskey Delta 4 question mark,
Brent.
and trust me, that is what Minganese sounds like.
Beep beep dop beep beep dop da da beep dop beep dop da da beep dop.
That's the dialect.
But let's say there's one letter that I'm just having a brain fart and I cannot get. Because it happens. It happens quite a bit, you know. I don't care how often you do CW, it's going to happen. Sometimes I'll just have to send it back. I'm like, okay, what did that call sign just sound like? And I just close my eyes and I just send it back what it sounded like. And when I send it back, I'm like, God, I'm stupid. That's in my call.
Yeah.
It's a P. It's a P. Come on.
A letter that I get hung up on a lot is W. Hello. I mean, it's right there. I mean, duh. The W and a D, I always get them transposed, but I never send it wrong. You know, it's just one of those things. But yeah, I'm getting better at the copying. That's what my thing. I think the more time I spend in front of the radio, the more time I spend on the air is. I mean, that's the key. I mean, if you're scared to get out on the air, just as Kyle said, rip the Band-Aid off. Go do it. Nobody's going to make fun of you for messing up because everybody messes up.
Yeah. I tell you what, the hunters mess up just as much as you. There, I had somebody come the other day, and guess what? Whoever you are, you're not in my log because you can't send your call first, and second off, you don't understand when somebody's sending your call back wrong to you because I'm sending at 22 words a minute, and somebody comes to me at like 15 words a minute, and they send K4NYM. And I'm like, why is Bill sending so slow to me? So I put K4NYM question mark. Roger. I was like, that's too slow. There's no way.
Yeah.
I put K4NYM question mark. Roger. I put K4NYM 5NN question mark. Roger. I was like, all right. So when I got done, I messaged Bill and asked him if he was messing with me, and he didn't message me back to several hours later. And he's like, no, He's like, he's like, he's like, first off, I'm never going to slow down more than somebody's
Yeah.
than somebody's sending. So, and that's why I knew it wasn't him. But the guy would literally every time I'd send it.
He told me at Hamcation, he said, well, I mean, you can send to me as fast as you want. It's not going to bother me. I said, all right. So about a week ago, he was on 40 meters down there. And I said, okay, I'm going to put this to the test. Put my key air up to 45 words a minute. Then I hit the memory button to send my call sign. He came right back to me. He didn't miss a beat. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah, it's crazy. But you know, he did do that for a living, so
That's
he
true.
kind of
Yeah.
got an advantage on it.
That's right.
Yeah, I guess we're over our hour,
We
and
sure are.
it's actually been a fun hour.
Time flies when you're having fun.
I had more stuff that I wanted to talk about, but you know what? I'm sure we'll do it another time.
Sunday's coming.
Hayden, here we go. What do you got coming up with your boat?
Nothing.
What?
No
April
way.
No, April 27th. Memorial activation in Maryland Po to meet up. We're doing single sideband. If Bill shows up, we'll do some CW, and I'm going to crank up some PSK 31.
There we go.
Work us, get a great certificate.
All right, Dan, what you got coming up?
This weekend, gaparks.org, Georgia Parks on the Air event, Saturday and Sunday. Georgia Parks will be out there all weekend. So if you need a Georgia Park in your hunter log, come get it.
I may
Awesome.
hunt the Georgia Parks from the boat.
Awesome stuff. For me, next, I'm going to head over to Happy Hour After Dark and hang out with my Patreons for half the night, I'm sure. If you are not a Patreon and would like to check out Happy After Dark, please go over to Patreon and try a free Patreon account for 7 days, and then message myself, Dan or Hayden, in Discord, and we will make sure and get you in that room. Tomorrow, I'm dropping a video. It'll be the monthly update, and I'll be doing POTA all weekend long, just like always. Other than that, thank you guys for the super chats tonight, and thanks for your support always. 73, everybody.
See ya.
73.